I first want to again thank you all for coming to our financial aid and scholarship webinar that we will be presenting for you tonight. I do have a colleague from the Office of Student Financial Services with us tonight, Miss Ariel Brown. She will be presenting on the financial aid side, and then you'll hear from us, from me, about the scholarship side. My associates, Mr. Cyrus Nichols and Mr. Bill Prescott, will be in the Q&A, answering questions throughout and marking questions for us to answer live. You can ask at any time, but if you want to save it for the end, that's fine too. We will have a Q&A session at the end of the night. I want to first start with our land acknowledgement. We want to acknowledge that the indigenous culture of Missouri, Washington University, and the city of St. Louis are located on the traditional and the ancestral homelands of the Osage Nation, the Missouria, and the Illini Confederacy. And we seek to honor them as we live, work, and study at WashU. And then I will be happy now to turn it over to Miss Ariel Brown for our financial aid section of the presentation.
Thank you, David. Hello, everyone. I hope you all are having a wonderful evening tonight. I want to briefly go over some financial aid information with you in relationship to financial aid for us here at WashU. You can go ahead and go to the next slide. Thank you. So financial aid is money you pay for college. This money can come from many different sources. It can come institutionally from WashU directly. It can come from the US federal government. The state where you live could offer some sort of financial assistance. And you may also be able to qualify for financial assistance through a non-for-profit or private organization. So let's talk specifically about aid institutionally here at WashU. I have some special initiatives that I'd like to go over with you. And they're here on the screen for you. Thank you, David. So WashU offers a no loan aid package for students whose families earn $75,000 or less. So instead of being awarded federal student loans initially, if your family makes $7,000 or less, we're going to automatically package you with scholarships to cover what would be your loan contribution. We also have a program called the WashU Pledge. This covers the full cost of tuition and fees at the university, room and board for incoming full-time Missouri and Southern Illinois students from select counties who are Pell Grant eligible and whose families earn under $75,000 or less. There's also a special initiative where WashU offers a first-year technology grant and a startup grant to eligible students to offset costs associated with a new computer, school supplies, residential hall supplies, and winter clothing. WashU also is a school that looks at the special circumstances of your family in relationship to financial aid. Every student that attends WashU has the opportunity to come as a family and let us know if their financial information that's being presented is not a correct picture of what their family's finances truly look at. And so we're always willing to look through those special circumstances with your family to make sure that we are presenting the correct information when calculating our family's expected family contribution. Our financial aid team, the team that I'm a part of in Student Financial Services, is more than happy to help in any way that we can to make sure that if we have the ability to make WashU affordable for you, we do so. So how do we apply for financial aid? That's what we're going to talk about next. In order to apply for financial aid at WashU, there are going to be some specific financial aid applications that are required. The FAFSA application is required. FAFSA stands for Free Application for Federal Student Aid. You're applying for federal financial aid. And then also WashU has another financial aid application called the CSS Profile. That CSS Profile is used in correlation with the FAFSA application to determine your family's expected family contribution in order to determine aid eligibility. eligibility. In the event that your family has a custodial family, in the event of divorced parents typically, and there's a custodial family and a non-custodial family, there's also a non-custodial parent application that's required in correlation with the CSS profile application. So your CSS profile is completed by your custodial parent, and then the non-custodial parent would have an additional document very similar to the CSS profile to complete, to give us a complete financial picture for your family. The income information that's used for the 23-24 financial aid applications is the 2021 income and asset information for your family. The FAFSA application specifically is going to allow you to use something that's called the IRS data retrieval tool to import your information directly from the IRS into your FAFSA application. This can be, but there are some circumstances where you would not qualify to use the IRS data retrieval tool. Some of those things are if you have two parents that file head of household, or if your parents file married filing separately, or if the marital status of a family has changed since the time that the taxes were filed. Also, if you tax return or a Puerto Rican tax return, those are going to be situations where you're not able to use the IRS data retrieval tool and you are still able to, you would just be importing that information manually. Thank you. So how is this information used on your application to determine financial aid eligibility? There are a number of criteria that are used for determining financial aid. We look at three things specifically that you see on the slide: cost of attendance, expected family contribution, and also demonstrated need. Under cost of attendance, the things that are used to make up the full cost of attendance at a university include tuition, fees, room and board, but also some indirect fees or things that we like to say are not included on the billing statement typically, and that would be your books, your personal expenses, and your travel expenses, potentially to and from school. But all of those things come together to make up the full cost of attendance at the university. The next section, expected family contribution. This is the total dollar amount your family will be expected to contribute to your college costs for 1 year. And this number is calculated by completing those financial aid applications, the FAFSA and CSS profile for sure, and then the non-custodial parent application, if applicable to your family. We take the cost minus your family's expected family contribution to determine your family's demonstrated need. WashU is a school that meets 100% of demonstrated need for your family. So what that means is the difference between the cost of attendance and your family's expected family contribution, you can anticipate in financial aid award to cover the cost of attendance. So how do you determine what your costs will be? And that's what we're going to talk about next. So expected family contribution. Like we said, this is the amount your family will be expected to contribute to your college costs. So this is going to be a specific dollar amount that is calculated through your financial aid applications. And for families that have more than one student in college at a time, you want to take note here that you're going to complete a FAFSA and potentially a CSS program for every student that you have attending college in the academic year, and that expected family contribution or dollar amount is per student. So each student fills out their own application, and each application is indicating the dollar amount that your family is responsible for just for that student. And it is, both applications are completed on an annual basis. Something else to take note of here on this is that recently we learned that the FAFSA is going through a FAFSA simplification process where the 24-25 academic year is going to be a brand new FAFSA application that will have a different name, and it will require different information potentially than what is being asked on the FAFSA application now. So as you're getting started and getting ready to fill out your first FAFSA applications, you want to keep in mind that you will more than likely see something very different for the 24-25 year, your sophomore year of college. And so we just want to make you aware of that so that you keep that in mind. Thank you, David. We can go to the next slide. Thank you. So how can you determine what your family's expected family contribution will be? There's a few different ways that you can take a look at getting an estimate of your family's expected family contribution. There is a website called My Intuition that asks 6 basic financial aid questions, and it gives you an estimate or range of aid eligibility for the financial aid year based off of your answers to those 6 questions. Every school has to have the next option, which is called the net price calculator. The WashU net price calculator is a more precise estimate of your family's net price at the university where you will be applying to attend. This does require that you complete more detailed information, but that more detailed information allows us to give you a more accurate estimate of eligibility. So we really do push that if you're looking for an estimate of what your expected family contribution may be, we encourage you to go ahead and fill out that net price calculator so that you have that information in order for us to talk about it in more detail if necessary, but also just to give you that knowledge base in relationship to your family's expected family contribution. Something else important to note is that the merit scholarship process that David will be talking to us about in just a few minutes is not calculated in either of these calculators. So that a merit scholarship at WashU cannot be a part of that estimated expected family contribution and estimated net price. And so we just want to make sure that you know that it would not be a part of this process. That process in applying for merit scholarships is completely separate. Also, we want to make a note that many families have special circumstances that need to be taken into consideration when filling out this net price calculator and trying to determine expected family contribution. So it is important for you to get in contact. Let us know if you have special circumstances related to potentially us using 2021's income information, if there have been adjustments to income since 2021 that you want us to be aware of. We're more than happy to talk through that with you on a case-by-case basis, and you can just reach out to our office to do so. So what types of financial aid will be offered once you've applied for financial aid? There are multiple types of financial aid available. The 3 main types here are scholarships and grants, work study, and student loans. The scholarships and grants is money that's given to you. So that's money that you would not be required to pay back. It's given to you to help you pay for college. That's our favorite, right? The free money. And then the work study is money that you earn. You earn this while attending school. So you would have some form of a part-time job, typically on campus, where you're earning money along the way with flexible hours, usually that will allow you to build your resume, but also have a little money to help you with your indirect expenses for school. And then the student loan piece is money that you borrow to help you pay for school. So this is money that's being loaned to you typically primarily through the Department of Ed with the federal loan program. But since it's being borrowed, since it's a loan and it's being borrowed, it does have to be paid back. So what are our financial aid deadlines that we have? What are the deadlines that are that you want to keep in mind in relationship to applying for financial aid? There's quite a few for you here on the board, depending on which cycle you plan to apply. For early decision 1, early decision 2, and regular decision, you see the dates there on the screen. For the FAFSA CSS profile and CSS profile, if you're applying early decision 1, you want to make sure you have those applications submitted by November 15th, 2022. If you're applying early decision 2, you want to make sure you have your FAFSA and CSS profiles completed by January 12th. And for regular decision, you want to make sure those applications are in by February 1st. When you receive your admissions decision, if you have met those deadlines for completing the financial aid documents, you will also receive your financial aid decision as a part of your admissions decision. So if you are admitted into WashU, we will also provide you with your financial aid award assistance letter at the same time. And those decisions would come out December 16th for early decision 1. Early decision 2 would be February 17th, and then regular decision would be April 23rd, or I'm sorry, April 1st. Yes, and so we just want to make sure that you have our contact information so that you know that you can reach out to us if you need anything or if you have any additional questions or concerns. Feel free to reach out to us with any questions or concerns that you may have about WashU. Our office is here to help, even in this part of your process of applying. We're happy to talk through any special circumstances that you have, any additional information that you would like to go over or discuss. We're more than happy to help. And I believe our contact information on the next slide for you. Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. And just remember, feel free to include any questions that you might have in the chat, and we'll try to get those answered for you. Thank you, David. I'm going to turn it back over to you. I think you're on mute, David.
Thank you for pointing that out. Thank you so much, Ariel, for that wonderful presentation on financial aid. So that is, like she said, a brief overview of financial aid. She will join the Q&A group now, so she will be answering questions alongside Bill and Cyrus. And then we will have some that we will answer live after this next portion. But now we're going to go into a look at our merit-based financial aid. Those are going to be our scholarships and our signature scholar programs. Give me just 1 second to get it shared. All right. So we at WashU, we have several merit scholarship options, and those come in the form of our divisional scholarships and our signature scholar programs. Tonight, in this part of the presentation, we will go over an overview of our merit-based scholarships, looking at what they are. We will go over the signature scholar programs and what they are looking for and how to apply, things like that. We will have some general essay writing tips for the merit-based applications, as well as our short answer questions here at WashU. We'll look at how the short answer question will be used in the admission process, and we will, of course, look at its role within the scholarship consideration process to kind of see what that looks like. And then at the end, we will open up that Q&A section. To start off, though, our merit-based scholarships fall into two major categories. We have our divisional scholarships. So each of those 5 divisions, as you can see, has their own merit-based scholarship, and they are awarded based on your admissions application. And then we also have the signature scholars programs. There are 3 of those: the Danforth, the Rodriguez, and the Irving. And we will go over all 3 of those as well and kind of talk about the differences between the 2 of them. First up, we will go through our signature scholar programs. And we will, they are multiple full tuition scholarships that come with a stipend. Okay, so we award them every year to multiple students. There are also multiple partial tuition scholarships in there as well. So it might not cover the full cost of attendance, but it will cover part of the tuition. They are renewable annually, so long as you are making satisfactory progress towards a degree. And at WashU, we will support you throughout the process of your undergraduate career, so you will be making progress towards that degree. So you will be able to renew those scholarships annually. Applicants may apply for other scholarship and fellowship programs that match their interests. Okay, it is not exclusionary. We don't say that you can only apply to one. You can feel free to apply to anything that you think can help you in your academic career. And of course, they are merit-based, meaning they are based off of your your academic merit, how well you did in high school, things like that. First up, we're going to talk about the Anika Rodriguez Scholars Program. This program honors the legacy of Anika Lynn Rodriguez, and it's founded on these 4 pillars. And these 4 pillars are going to be what they look for in student applicants to the program. There is academic excellence. Okay, they want to see that you've done very well in high school. They want to see good grades, challenging classes, things like that. They will look for leadership. Okay, are you involved in your school? Are you taking leadership roles in the clubs or the activities that you're a member of? They will look at service to the community. So what are you going to bring to the WashU community, right? How helpful are you in your current community? And, what can we expect for you to continue on with at WashU? And finally, one of the key points of Anika Rodriguez Scholars Program, they look at bringing diverse cultures together. Okay, so they really want to look for that bridge builder, those bridge builder students. They're going to work to merge cultures, merge different groups of people all together and bring them into one collective whole that can accomplish great things together. Next, we'll talk about the Danforth Scholars Program. Danforth scholars participate in a variety of events meant to build community and engage the scholars with their peers while creating an environment that allows them to enrich their leadership skills and commitment to service. First and foremost, they look for leadership and service. Okay, so not just community service, but they want to see that you're leading leadership in that community service that you're doing in high school. They look for intellectual and creative acuity. So they're looking for, again, students that are highly successful in their current academic environments and that are creative in their academic environments as well. They do look for students committed to diversity and kindness as well. So again, those are things they're going to look for. Primary way to display those is going to be through community service and activities, right? Showing your leadership, showing your kindness through what your current actions are, showing your commitment to diversity to what your current actions are. That is going to be the pillars that the Danforth is going to look at. And finally, last but not least, there is the Irving Scholars Program. It was founded on 4 pillars as well. All Irving scholars are expected to exemplify these pillars in order to be competitive for the program, and they are expected to embrace them once they arrive on campus. The first pillar, as we've said before, is academic excellence, okay? Again, they want to see students that are highly competitive, challenging themselves in their current academic environment. They want to see leadership in the classroom and out. So they want to see your leadership in your activities, leadership in your school, leadership wherever you can display it. They will look at community service again, just as they really want the students that are committed to that. So committed to improving the community you're a part of, and being able to commit to that once here at WashU is a big point for the Irving Scholars Program. And once again, they're going to look at students committed to diversity that are going to show that in their current academic environment and are also going to be committed to that once here at WashU, committed to working to make WashU a more diverse environment and to promote diversity and inclusion in everything we do. So those are our 3 scholars programs. You are more than welcome to apply for any of the 3 of them. But we will move on to divisional scholarships. Getting started, our divisional scholarships. We will start with the essays. When you're writing an essay, pay attention to the length, the format, the topic, etc. Right? You want to proofread, you want to edit. You don't want to send us a first draft. You want to keep your writing to the best that you can. You want to make sure you answer the question, make sure you understand what is being asked and what they are looking for, and tailor your answer to that. Send the correct answer with the correct question. All right, you always want to make sure you match up the correct answers to the correct questions. It makes it easier on us when we are comparing your answers to be able to tell that you were answering the question that the answer is with, and write from your own perspective. Okay, that is the best advice we can give you. We want to learn about you. We want to hear from you. We want your experience and your knowledge. We don't want others in your life. We appreciate the mentors. We appreciate the friends in your life that can lend assistance, but we don't want them to be the ones writing it, right? It's you, and at the end of the day, you're the one we want to hear from. The application is yours. Own it, right? This goes back to that last point. Make sure it reflects your personality and character. We have so much of the application where we're going to learn about you as the student, but how it's put together, and especially your writing, is our best opportunity to learn about you, the person, and learn about your character, learn about your personality, learn about your thoughts and your feelings. So take advantage of that opportunity. Feel more than free to tie in research or activities that have helped shape your experience, right? That gives us great context for what you do and why you do it. And it really helps us to understand you even better. Be authentic. I give this advice to all my students. When you're real, you establish a connection with your reader. You don't want to write in a way that makes it look like you're trying to hit all of the buzzwords, because that's not very authentic. You want us to really understand you, and you want us to do it in a way that is important and special to you, that's also going to help us understand. And so you want to make sure to always be authentic. And again, last but not least, don't overthink it. Okay. You will drive yourself crazy if you spend too much time worrying. Relax. We will give you a full reading and full credit for all of your activities, and we are more than happy and so excited to do so. So don't overthink it, just have fun with it and really let it reflect you. The first piece of writing you're going to have is a short answer question. I'm sorry, the second piece of writing you have, which is our WashU specific question, is a short answer question that says, in about 200 words, tell us what you are interested in studying at college and why. Okay. It's not asking you why WashU, and it's not really necessarily asking you why do you want to study what you want to study at WashU, so much as it's asking for the bare bones of what are you passionate about and why, right? We want to know why are you applying pre-med? Why are you applying engineering? Why are you applying art? Take that opportunity in those 200 words to really shine and show us your passion and your drive and your focus. And that'll do so much for you, right? Because it really helps us see your motivation, and again, helps us understand your character and your personality so well. If you apply to Beyond Boundaries, they have a separate short answer. It asks that in about 250 words, you tell us what great challenge you might want to understand and tackle, leveraging 2 or more of WashU's schools, and how would you pursue an interdisciplinary path of study that explores that challenge or an aspect of that challenge in a unique and innovative way. This is just for Beyond Boundaries applicants. So if you are applying to any of our 5 divisions, you don't need to worry about this one. It won't pop up. If you are applying, really take an opportunity to read through this question on the Common App and think about it, and answer it to the best of your ability. They're going to read all of these, and they are, so are we, and they are really going to want to see, again, that drive and passion and that understanding on your part of what it's going to take to do what you want to do. And that's what they're going to look for. If you are applying to the joint program in business and computer science, there is a short answer that asks, in about 250 words, tell us how you would use this combined degree to explore the intersection of these 2 disciplines. So again, simple enough. They just want to see that passion and see that drive that you have. And this is a great opportunity to shine, right? If you're applying to business and computer science, we're assuming that you have got that you have done your research on it, right? They're assuming you've done your research and you really are interested in this position for a specific reason. And that's really what they want to see. They want to see that specific reason you've chosen to apply to this instead of to just apply to one or the other. So take that opportunity, read, revise, and then submit. The goal of all these short answer questions is fourfold. First, it's to provide us with a better understanding of you beyond your test scores, transcript, and list of activities. Like I said, we will have the whole application to learn about you, the student. We will love this opportunity to learn about you, the person, because we want to know your name and story at WashU, and we really want to see that come out. Two, it'll tell us who you are and what you're passionate about. That's important, right? We want to, again, that goes back to name and story, because we want to know what our students love and why they love it. And this is just the best opportunity to give us that and show us that and shine through. It's going to show us how you plan to contribute to our campus community and beyond, right? When you talk about what you're passionate about, when you talk about what you want to do, it'll help us understand what you will bring to this campus when you're here. And it'll help us see what you will do for WashU and the WashU name once you've graduated and gone on into your career and the great things you're going to do there. And finally, it's to demonstrate that you can think logically and analytically, right? It's more than just filling out data like you're going to do on so much of the Common App. It's having you think critically about yourself and about your area of study, and it's putting that to use. If you are interested, example and thoughts to consider. So a student interested in applying to entrepreneurship in Olin, well, that student might tell us how their interest developed. Share explicit examples that demonstrate their entrepreneurial equity, excuse me. So they're going to look at projects, research, or activities that they've done that show that interest. They're going to explain maybe what type of business they want to start once they graduate from WashU. Maybe a class, a book, a music, or a project that's influenced them on their journey and has made them want to do this. They're going to explain why is it important to continue their study in business, right? Why not just go off and do it? Why come to WashU and get a degree instead of just start the business? They might have that in there. And they might include portions of why they think WashU is the best place to pursue the studies, but it's not going to be the main points or the whole of their essay, right? It's okay to have a little bit of it in there, but we do really want to see that passion primarily and at the forefront. So how do we use this short answer question? We're going to learn more about you. We're going to better understand your intellectual passions, and we're going to determine if you're a good candidate for a divisional scholarship, right? Because when you apply to WashU, when you apply to your division, that's all you have to do to apply to the divisional scholarship. So you're automatically going to apply to that merit-based scholarship just by applying. So these essays are a great way, again, showing that passion, showing that understanding, to show out your love for your program and why that program should look at you for a divisional scholarship. Now I want to talk a minute about the role of the short answer in scholarship consideration. Scholarships are awarded based on a strong fit in an academic program. We award them both in terms of merit and community, okay? So we'll look at both how are you as an academic student, but also how are you in the community? How are you going to contribute to WashU? Scholarship committees will evaluate the short answer question as well as other academic components. Okay, so they will look at more of your application to determine if you fit both those merit and those community guidelines. And that short answer question is going to help with both of those because it's going to show your passion, as I've said probably 50 times now, and that's going to be the important part of the merit and community, because the merit is going to be your passion, and what you want to do and why you want to do it is going to be the community side. And it will be reviewed through an academic lens. Okay, so we're going to look at it from the standpoint of, is it well written? Does it make sense? Does it flow? And also, again, how well does it answer what we've asked? How on point is it to what the student is trying to get across? Things like that. We will now, I know that's a brief overview of the divisional and the scholarships, but now I will bring Ms. Brown back on with me, and we will be getting your questions to ask live. And I've got the first one here for you, Ms. Brown. Is both the FAFSA and the CSS required for merit-based aid?
No, they are not required for merit-based. They are only required if you're applying for need-based financial aid.
And to keep going on that note, they do need to complete both to apply for need-based aid.
Yes, that's correct. You need both applications to apply for need-based aid.
Okay, I'll throw. Sorry, I will throw this one to you because it's heavier and you'll answer it much better than I will. What is the difference? What are the differences between the FAFSA and the CSS profile?
Sure, yeah. The FAFSA application is determining federal eligibility only. Some schools use it for institutional aid, but it does not ask as many comprehensive questions as the CSS profile. So the CSS profile is used to go into a more in-depth look at a family's financial circumstances. So it's going to ask more specific questions in relationship to assets, equity, investments. It's going to ask more detailed questions in relationship to those things, whereas the FAFSA kind of just surface level and gets total numbers. The CSS is going to ask, it's going to specifically break those things down.
Awesome. I will grab the next one, which is, do we need to file the FAFSA and the CSS profile if we want to be considered for merit aid only? Again, going back to what Ms. Brown told us, no. If you are applying only for merit-based scholarships, you will not need the FAFSA and the CSS profile. Those are for our need-based scholarships. Ms. Brown, does WashU meet 100% of financial need for international students?
Yes, an admitted international student would qualify for us meeting 100% of demonstrated need.
And the last one I've got so far, I'm sure we'll get more. How do I submit my FAFSA and my CSS profile?
Yes, so those applications are online. If you're on the WashU website and you go to apply for aid as a first-year student, you go to the link or tab for applying for financial aid as a first-year student. There are links directly to both the FAFSA and CSS profile. But I believe, David, correct me if I'm wrong, I can place them in the chat as well.
Yes, you should be able to place them in the chat.
Okay.
To everyone.
Okay.
Let me just saw this one. Where do we submit the recommendations for the Signature Scholars programs in the Common App? So that the recommendations, if you have them for the Signature Scholar programs, will be submitted in your recommendations section of your Common App. That's where all recommendations should be submitted for us to see. And to when we forward on your information, they can access that portion of your application and they will look at it there. So submit it to the recommendations section. If it's doing a study abroad program significantly more expensive than typical costs at WashU? If so, will you be able to receive additional financial aid? So I know the answer to this because it's one of my favorite aspects of WashU, and that is if you study abroad during the semester, your financial aid will follow you at WashU. So your, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, Ms. Brown, but I believe it is tuition and room and board will be covered by your what you're already receiving at WashU as long as you're going in semester.
So you can use your aid. So whatever aid you're eligible for in the fall or spring semester can be used for study abroad. The tuition costs are the same. So if your tuition is covered with your financial aid, then that would translate over even if you're doing the study abroad program. Since you won't have housing charges at the university while you're away, then potentially, yes, your financial aid would cover that as well if you have financial aid that's covering that. It's real easy. It's, if it's a student that's receiving full aid, then yes, I could say definitively, yes, it would cover everything. But if you're receiving financial aid, need-based financial aid, but it's not covering the full cost of attendance, it's possible you could have out-of-pocket costs, but they shouldn't be much different than what you would have had on campus.
Awesome. Thank you. Let's see what I've got. Where are we? Are early decision applicants more likely to receive merit-based scholarships than regular decision? No. Our merit deadline is the same deadline as the early decision 2 and regular decision deadline, so it will be January 4th this year. All students that apply in all rounds and are admitted will be eligible to win those merit-based scholarships. As an international student, should I only submit the CSS?
Yeah, international student, you would only submit the CSS profile.
All right. When do we find out about merit-based scholarships? So as I said, the application deadline will be January 4th this year. They will go through a whole list of programs where they will eventually notify finalists. And then those finalists will be notified in early spring of their decision to become finalists and be awarded of their award if they are selected. Sorry, can you apply to multiple of the scholarships or only one? I believe you can apply to one at a time, if I'm correct on that, Ms. Brown. I don't know if you would know the answer to that question.
In applying for the merit
For
scholarship,
the merit scholarships,
you can apply for multiple.
you can't apply for multiple. Okay, so see, there you go.
Yeah.
You can apply for multiple, and then that stuff is going to be on your, again, all those, the
As a
extra stuff will come at the end of the Common App, so it will be
Yes.
divvied out that way. Does applying ED affect your chances of receiving merit-based aid? Did I answer that one already?
I think so.
Yeah, so same answer. It was second question, same answer. It will not affect your chances. All students are given equal opportunity once admitted to win those merit-based scholarships, which is why the deadline is the same as the ED2 and regular decision. So no matter what round you apply in, you will have an equitable chance, if admitted, to win those merit-based scholarships. Are there any athletic scholarships available? I can definitely answer that one. I actually serve on the athletic committee for WashU. Because we are Division III, we are not allowed to offer athletic scholarships at WashU. So all of our aid is going to be the merit-based that I've covered and the need-based that Ms. Brown covered. What percentage of WashU students receive merit-based aid scholarships? I don't know if I know that one off the top of my head.
We average less than 10%.
That again goes back to, as Ms. Brown has said repeatedly, we are heavily need-based. We put out so much of our focus into need-based aid that merit-based is not as prevalent as it is at other institutions. Is financial aid being taken into account if you have multiple children going to college in the same year?
It is calculated, it does impact the calculation if you have multiple students in college in the academic year. So you want to make sure that you put that accurately on the FAFSA and CSS profile.
All right, and if my financial status changes when I am admitted by WashU, can I reapply for aid?
Yes, so you can always let us know about special circumstances that you have. I believe that's what's being meant by the question. If the family's financial circumstances change during the academic year, can they let us know? And that would be considered a special circumstance, and you'll be more than welcome to let us know about any changes in your family's financial circumstances so that we can address those with the special circumstance committee at that time.
Are you allowed to stack scholarships? You are. Scholarships, outside scholarships especially, are stackable at WashU. And then I think I had one more I had buried. Hold on.
David, can I say something about the stacking?
Yeah.
If you receive a need-based scholarship first, and then you receive a merit scholarship if you apply early decision 1 or 2 and receive your need-based award, you may see a decrease in your need-based aid award if you're awarded a merit scholarship, because we can't go over the full cost of attendance. So there are potential situations where the merit scholarship could cause a decrease in the need-based aid. Still
But
stacking, but just it could.
It would be safe to say, Ms. Brown, it's stackable up to cost of attendance.
Exactly.
Yes. Are test scores required for the merit scholarships? Not for the next 2 years. I believe test optional, we are test optional for the next 2 years, so it does extend throughout the university through the application process. So for most of you know, test scores will not be required for your merit application. Go to the bottom. Is financial aid the same for both early decision applicants and regular decision applicants?
Yes, we meet 100% of demonstrated need for all students.
If you know, here's a good one. If you know you don't qualify for financial aid currently, should you still submit a FAFSA and CSS profile just in case your financial situation changes in the future?
That is not necessary. You can choose to apply in a future academic year if you're already aware that your family's financial circumstances are going to change. So for that circumstance, it would be the situation where you have to fill those applications out with 2021's income information, but you know there was a decrease in income for your family for 2022, then I would suggest that you fill out the FAFSA and CSS profile, because those applications are necessary to go through the special circumstance process. But if you're just saying in general, maybe there might be a change in 2023 or 2024, you can always choose to apply in a future year.
What would happen if the non-custodial parent refused to complete a form?
Then you would want to contact us and let us know that that's taken place, and we can talk through what the options are in relationship to waiver of the non-custodial parent documentation that's required.
All right, here's what I can grab this one. If I'm applying ED, but the merit scholarship deadline is later, when will my scholarship recommendation letter deadline be? Will it be the same as the ED application, the merit scholarship? If you apply ED1 and are admitted, you are allowed to take until the scholarship deadline to finish your scholarship materials. And you can go back into your application and do so at any time. So you would be the merit scholarship deadline that you will follow regardless of what round you're applying. Is a student more likely to get financial aid as an early decision 1 than a regular decision or early decision 2? No, as Ms. Brown was just saying, we do meet 100% of need, demonstrated need for all students regardless of round. And all students have an equitable chance to win the merit awards regardless of round, because that deadline coexists with the ED2 and regular decision deadline. Does WashU give any scholarships to national merit finalists? No, we do not. We've got the merit scholarships that we have are the only merit scholarships we have are the ones I presented on, those divisional scholarships that you will apply to, and those signature scholars programs. Past that, the only other real aid we offer is the need-based aid that Ms. Brown has told you about. If applying for early decision, would I not know what my expected yearly cost would be, since merit scholarships wouldn't have been granted by then?
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, however, that's why we have the net price calculator.
Yes.
It was developed by our office. They are very good at their jobs. It is, from what I've heard from students that have used it, it is a very accurate calculator. And it will give you a great idea of what you are looking for, or what you are looking at financially. So if you are, for instance, a full pay student and you know you're a full pay student, filling it out might just confirm, okay, if I don't get a merit scholarship, it's going to be a full cost of attendance. If you're not sure, definitely take the time to do it with your parent or guardian, because it'll give you a good idea of, assume you got no merit-based aid, where would you fall at having to pay for WashU? Are there any on-campus jobs, internship opportunities available for students who don't receive financial aid or merit-based scholarships?
Read that one more time, David.
I
Sorry.
think it's asking, are there job opportunities for students that are not given work study?
Yes. You can apply for a job even if you're not eligible for federal work study. There may be some jobs that you're not eligible for because you're not eligible for federal work study, but there are also jobs that offer institutional work study, which just means you're being paid through the department directly versus.
Did I disconnect or did we lose Ariel?
I'm still here.
Oh, okay. I have your voice.
Okay.
Okay. Are merit scholarships renewable or freshman year only? They are renewable so long as you are showing progress towards an academic degree. And we will support you the full way here at WashU. So you will show academic progress. So they will be renewable so long as you're doing that. If we have our application ready without the signature scholar essays, can we submit that and then submit the essays later? Yes, you can submit the application for whatever round you want to, whenever you wish. However, the merit deadline will be the same as the ED2 and RD deadline. So it will be January 4th. So you'll have until then to finish up all your signature scholars materials. Is there a difference in tuition costs for students who are from Missouri? No. I know the answer to that one. It's very easy. We are a private university. We do not have in-state or out-of-state tuition. We do have one tuition rate that all students pay. What makes one eligible for federal work study?
A financial aid package that has room in the need for it to be awarded. So you have to have financial need through the FAFSA application. So if your application reflects financial need, then you can be awarded federal work study. And if you complete the net price calculator, I know we keep harping on it because we're really proud of it, but if you complete the net price calculator, you would see eligibility for that as well if it was available.
Is FAFSA submission required every year until graduation?
Yes, and the CSS profile, both you would complete on an annual basis.
All right. Looking through, trying to make sure we didn't miss any. Oh, got one. Is the financial aid process different for international students?
So you fill out only the CSS profile if you're applying as an international student, but if you are an international student that is admitted, you are still eligible for us to meet 100% of demonstrated need as an applicant or as an admitted student, sorry.
Scholarship applications are done via the Common App, or is it separate? It is done via the Common App. Or whichever app you are submitting, there is a section in there where you can select to apply to the signature scholar programs. All right. Well, thank you, Ms. Brown, so much for helping me with financial aid. And students, thank you so much for attending this tonight. We had a great time presenting to you. If you showed up late, don't worry. This was recorded and we will be posting it later this week. So you will be able to watch anything you may have missed. But thank you all so much for attending. We look forward to seeing your applications come through this fall.
Thank you guys. Feel free to reach out.